afternoon and welcome to Spielberg and to a circuit that in one form or the other has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Verstappen, Perez, Albon, Ticktum, and Pierre Gasly, Vettel, Drugovich, Nicholas Latifi, and Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Ocon, Joker, and Robert Schwartzman, Deruvala, Stroll, Magnussen, and Guan Yu Zhou. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you here with us today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which teams have got it horribly wrong?
Hello everybody and welcome back to my F1 22 My Team Career Mode campaign. And this is the feature race for the Austrian Grand Prix. If you haven't seen qualifying and the sprint, please do go back and check that out before you watch this. So it was a very difficult sprint, starting out of position, and we ended up taking damage early on and still not really making up any ground, but we got 36 laps of the feature race to make up ground. Leclerc on pole, Norris alongside. It's lights out and away we go here in Austria. Charles Leclerc gets away well. Lando Norris is looking to trump alongside against the lead, but Norris not quite with the momentum to do it. And Hamilton trying to go side by side with Piastri, but I don't think he's got the momentum to carry it. Piastri holding on to third there. And if anything, look, there's a Red Bull that's going down the inside of everybody, and that is Max Verstappen. And he's now alongside his former title nemesis, Lewis Hamilton. Side by side down the straight. Who's got the edge? It is Max Verstappen. And what an opening lap he's had. He's got past Perez, Sainz and Hamilton all in one go there. And that is brilliant for him. Right, switching to our POV. We're P17. What can we do here? Lights out and away we go for us. And it's a decent start. Ocon a little bit slow away there. But look at Schwartzman in the Alfa Romeo. He's away super quick. And Deruvala heading up the inside as well. So we're now struggling to try and find any space or way through, and we didn't, so we're down to 19th, and again we're heading into turn 3. There's not really anywhere to go, but look at that, Magnussen forcing his way up the inside, and we've kind of nudged Stroll wide, so he's lost out there, and we've lost another place, so it's a bad start for us, but I'm thinking we can still move forwards, and we're going to take a dive up Magnussen here, and we've gone through Magnussen. And Zhou has got past as well. So Zhou Guan Yu gaining a place out of all of that. Right now, the next lap, we're heading to Ocon. And look at it. Tsunoda and what I believe is Schwartzman going wheel to wheel there. No, it's Deruvala. It's Deruvala, I beg your pardon. So Tsunoda trying to defend from Deruvala. We've got Ocon alongside us. I'm trying to find a way through. Are we going to be able to get around the outside of the Haas? Ocon really fighting me here. And I'm struggling to get past. But I've held the inside line and Ocon's just having to wait. Tsunoda's been shuffled out. And I think he was attacking Schumacher, but he wasn't able to make anything of it. And as a result, Daruvla just pounced on him. So now we're going to try and get past Tsunoda and deprive him of yet another place down the inside here. Very brave dive down the inside we make, but we've managed to get up into P17 now as we get after Daruvla and Schumacher, who are having their own little battle with the Alpha. I tell you what, it's an improved Alfa Romeo we're seeing here. They've been at the back for some time now, but they're not at the back anymore. They're in the pack, and Daruvla goes around the outside of Mick Schumacher, and you know what? I'm looking to try and find a way through Schumacher. He now goes to the outside of Daruvla. I'm going to try and go down the inside of them both. I've gone wide, and I've got an ERS issue with the car, which means that it's locked, and I can't use any energy. I can't use overtake to try and get past, so we're going to struggle for a half a lap or so while they work on a fix in the garage. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly is having a look at Sebastian Vettel. Vettel really not willing to let Gasly go easy, but here comes Gasly again with a second helping of DRS. Is he going to complete the move down the inside? He certainly looked to have it done, but Vettel fighting him all the way here, and Vettel still defending it. And Gasly having to settle for now, as we now try and defend from Tsunoda. Tsunoda, though, has got overtake, but he's also gone into Mick Schumacher. I don't know if he's done any damage from that. Tsunoda is through on the grounds that we don't have overtake, and Ocon trying to go around the outside there, and he was met with a very swift defence as we now try and get past Tsunoda. I've had to take sudden avoiding action, and I finally lost the place to Ocon. So down into P19, still with no overtake, and we are very much limping without that overtake. I'm needing that back in order to fight these cars. Otherwise, we're not going to have any power whatsoever. Down the outside of Ocon. No, I've gone wide off the circuit. No, we've completed the move. But Ocon, it's an illegal overtake, so we've got to let him back through. And because Zhou got past as well, we had to let him go. So back down to P20, and Stroll's having a look down the inside. I've gone deep again. But guess what? We've got overtake back. And with that, we have the power back to re-challenge Esteban Ocon. God, what a lap and a half it's been. Back down the outside of Ocon. And this time, we should have it done relatively straightforwardly. Still on my outside, but we get him. We move up into P19, and after struggling for a lap and a half, we should be able to start picking these guys off now. First up is Zhou Guanyu. There's a car in the pits. I didn't see who that was. I think that might be Drugovic. But round the outside of Zhou Guanyu we go. P17 is now gained. Next up is Tsunoda, and we should have a straightforward dive bomb down the inside here. Tsunoda not really fighting that one off. He's coming back at me now, but I have the pace and the momentum, and finally the power after having some ERS issues. Next up, Schumacher. We need to dispatch Schumacher, and then it will be Daruvla, who's up in P14. He's really made his way forwards in this race, hasn't he? Has young Jehan Daruvla and Nicholas Latifi in P13. Right. Well, if our POV wasn't exciting enough, now we've got Dan Ticktum fighting for position, and he's trying to go at the expense of Sergio Perez. And Alex Albon is there in P9, and he's wanting a taste of this battle as well. Albon having a really strong season this year, isn't he? He's had that P2 in Silverstone, and he's really got a hunger now to move himself forwards, and at the moment running in a solid P9. Now we've got Ticktum and Perez still on the outside. Perez just not able to make anything of that, as we now make an attack on Jehan Daruvla, and we take that place. Next up is Latifi and Schwartzman. Schwartzman also having a really strong showing here in the Alfa Romeo. It's really a stronger race for them than what we've seen so far this season, as Latifi has me all up his backside. I'm going to try and go round the outside here to set up a move round the outside of the penultimate corner. You don't see overtakes like that happening here, but as far as we're involved, yes you do, and we have got that move well and truly done. Next up will be Schwartzman in P12, and we have got some catching before we get to him, but we are able to catch him relatively quickly. And I tell you what, he's bothering Sebastian Vettel as well, but we're going to now be bothering him for 12th, and we're going to be taking 12th. So, past Robert Schwartzman we go, up into P12. Now we're on the hunt for Sebastian Vettel, and we are just about on the cusp of the points now after what has been a pretty lengthy struggle to move forwards. But now we're on Sebastian Vettel, and you know what, this should be a relatively straightforward move as we go to the left. And yes, we are past Sebastian Vettel. Next up is Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon, both in the top 10, and we've got a few seconds to catch there. Meanwhile, Vettel in 11th, 12th now, trying to keep Schwartzman behind, and round he goes! Sebastian Vettel goes round, and Schwartzman is stuck directly behind him, and Schwartzman losing places there, and Stroll goes straight into them. Oh, that's rotten luck for Schwartzman. He was doing so well, and Lance Stroll goes into him, and as a result, he's stuck in the middle of the track. Quite obviously, that has to be a safety car. There's no way that can't be, so we're straight away in the pits, as is Gasly and everybody behind us. But in an absolutely shocking twist, the entire front 9 stay out. What is the strategy here? Look, here we go. Everyone down to Alex Albon not pitting yet. What drama we have here, and they still didn't pit as soon as they could under the safety car. This is going to throw the race into complete disarray. But first off, we go around the outside of Pierre Gasly for what is effectively the lead of the race. Wow, that's all I can say. Now Latifi and Gasly are battling each other. Gasly will pull into the pits again because he takes damage battling Latifi. But there you go. The front 9 all out of the pits, led by Charles Leclerc in 11th. Look at that top 5. If you were to put a bet on this race, there would be such a high price for betting that top 5, because I'm leading the way. Latifi is second. Daruvala is third. Sonoda is fourth. And Zhou Guanyu in the Williams is in fifth. And now to win the race with the order the way it is, I can just cruise it at this point. I can turn everything down and just relax and let all the craziness unfold behind me. And in terms of the championship, this could be a massive turnaround. What with Leclerc so far down the field. Right now, though, we're watching Magnussen as he tries to take Drugovich for 7th. Magnussen actually pitted in with us, I do believe. So Magnussen now has a great chance at moving himself forwards. But Drugovich is not making it easy. Williams are in a potential for double points here, and he's wanting to protect it. Not happening there, though. Drugovich has been passed. Meanwhile, back with us, it's lap 22, and we've got a nice little gap to Latifi, and I'm not even pushing anymore. But look at this. Jehan Daruvala in third for Alfa Romeo. Is he going to be in the top few by the end of this race? Leclerc now displaces Schwartzman, and we're watching Oscar Piastri trying to do the same thing, although Schwartzman's just going to block him for the double left. He's also sensing a double points finish for his team, and he is not wanting to compromise that at all. But Piastri is so much faster, as are all the cars behind him. And Schwartzman, you get the feeling he's wanting to try and hold on as long as he can for the sake of his teammate. But Piastri goes through and back into the points. Now Tsunoda's battling Daruvala for third. Former F2 teammates, I remind you. So Tsunoda with everything to prove against the Indian driver as he tries to sweep around the outside. And I think Tsunoda, is he going to get that done? No. He's still there, though. He's still there, and he's not going to let this go easy. But Daruvula hangs on for third. Incredible driving by the pair of them there, as we now have a Haas pulling into the pits, and Schwartzman's crashed into him. Schwartzman crashes into him, and that is him out of the race. Schwartzman will be gutted about that. The safety car comes out, and Mick Schumacher crashes into the safety car. Unbelievable scenes here. Now we're watching what I think is Dan Ticktum retiring from the Grand Prix. Not been a good day for Dan as he pulls to the side. And now we're going to watch as Esteban Ocon smashes into Schumacher, who hit the safety car, and Drugovich with nowhere to go but into him. The track is completely blocked. I don't know how that wasn't a red flag, and this is why I think red flags should be in the game. So take note for F123, bring in red flags, because that kind of incident IRL would require one. Now what's happening here, there's an Aston Martin pitting, and it's causing a lot of cars to get crossed up, one of whom being the Mercedes of Carlos Sainz. Let's watch it from his POV. As a Red Bull has to go wide, Hamilton tries to go in tight, Sainz tries to look for a way through, it doesn't happen. And then he goes wide, and Albon just says, thank you very much, I'm going to gain a place at your expense. Right, this is Daruvula and Magnussen now, and this is for P4. So Tsunoda has got past Daruvula, and now Magnussen finding a way through. Through goes Kevin then, and with 6 laps to...
Okay, stand by, we see a problem our end, and we're looking into it.
No way. No way are we going to have a problem and be out of this race. Just, that would be the cherry on the confusing cake of the story of this race, because this whole race order is just, what the fudge did I just see? And if we're going to go out with a car failure, that's the cherry on the cake right there. We've got 5 laps to go. And no, we've got a car failure. Unbelievable scenes here at this Austrian Grand Prix. We have a mechanical failure, and that is us out. Who will be the winner? Is it going to be Nicholas GOATIFI in the Alpine? Is he going to win this race? It's certainly not going to be us, because we are out.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win? Once again, it's podium time, and once again, it's a clear win for Alpine. Alpine have seen their fair share of success in Formula One, and today is proof that they've still got what it takes to thrill us all. Congratulations to everyone on the team. And after this round of the World Championship, Here's how things look in the drivers' table. After an incredible
Nicholas
GOATIFI,
GOATIFI, the race winner. I mean, that just proves once and for all that he is the undisputable GOAT of motor racing, doesn't it? But an incredible drive from him to take the win. Kevin Magnussen second, Yuki Tsunoda in third, and in the closing laps, Verstappen pushed to fourth and Piastri fifth. Norris 6th, then Albon 7th, Hamilton, Perez and Deruvala does pick up a point from this race. I wish we'd been able to see the last few laps, and this is why I'd love for the 23 game to have the ability to spectate the rest of the race after you retire, because I would have loved to have seen how that all transpired. But there you have it. Latifi, Magnussen and Tsunoda are your top three from this race. This is just one of those races where anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does, and in that race it did. So our DNF means it's not a championship turnaround. Leclerc keeps the championship lead. I'm now still in second, and Magnussen falling back a little bit. And well, actually, no, he doesn't fall back a little bit. He gains ground now in third. Verstappen fourth in the standings, and Hamilton fifth. And Dan Ticktum is the driver rounding out the top 10. But from this race onwards, I will say we are saying goodbye to Oscar Piastri. I'm fighting for not just the drivers and the Constructors' Championship, but the Constructors' Championship too. And Piastri just isn't winning the races. He had a chance to win the sprint race, as we know. He went wide. And a lot of other races this season, there's just been underperformance and quite a few mistakes from him. So we are saying goodbye to Piastri. We will, from next race onwards, be saying hello to a new driver in the team. Who do you think it's going to be? Leave your comments in the box below. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now.